Oh, welcome to the new year, everyone. I've been writing the script for half a year. Holy sh! Hey, so this video is taking a lot of work, and I couldn't have done it without today's sponsor, me. Please subscribe. The original Crew game was released on the 2nd of December 2014, 8 years ago. Let's rewind the clock to mid-June at E3 2013, when the trailer was dropped for a little game called The Crew. Heard of it? The trailer includes a car getting made, cop evasion, beautiful graphics, raid vehicles, yeah baby, mass genocide and having friends. That wouldn't be me. We see a shot of the USA and then bam, The Crew, set to release early 2014. Crew Wild Run was released on November 17, 2015, with cooling all units coming out a year later in November 29th, 2016. Ultimate Edition came out on the exact same day. Holy crap, Ivory Tower working overtime for that one. Now, of course, this game has a story, which means it has voice acting. To be honest, I don't recognize any of the names, except for one, Alex Taylor, also played by Troy Baker. Who's Troy Baker? That guy. It ain't a car game without some radio tunes. So let's take a look at all of those music.
Do I wanna know?
I'm sorry, I think my music player is broken. Wait, let's try another one.
Why, little boy, the...
That's right, I can't play music because of the copyright claimation. Bugger! As you would have probably seen, the game looks pretty good. One might even say, really stick. Look at those trees, look at those cars, look at that building, look at the road. Really stick. It is real life. Impressive how realistic it is considering the game was made in 2014. But I do gotta say, sometimes Alex and Crew look kinda off. The Crew came out on a lot of different systems. What systems? Oh, the systems. That's it. The Crew box art has a couple different versions corresponding to the version of the game that it is. The first version is very simple. Cars around a garage. Wild Run and the first version of The Crew has the same sort of thing going on, but instead of the garage, it's dust. And instead of cars, there's motorbikes and bikes and more motorbikes and monster trucks. Because those are the things that were added in the Wild Run. Cooling all units changes things up entirely. It's got the bottom of a car from the camera and a police car in the background. And the Ultimate Edition is weird. Police up the top, races down the bottom. Pretty simple, you get the gist. There's also a big eyesore in the middle. Oh wait, that's the logo. Shots fired. Listen, I'm running out of ideas. Let's just talk about the title screen. Calling all units, the Ultimate Edition has a map and the USA, the game title and police sounds in the background. Anyway, it's time to press a button. Whoa, there's a video! Explains the main concept of the game. With the 5 tenths of the FBI. Yeah, remember that? All the way from episode 1. Anyways, we're almost done. Let's go. Hey, guess what? The Crew is made by Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is pretty popular. So when an intriguing racing game comes on the screen, there is bound to be some hype and a fan base. Now let's talk about Fandom.com. Fandom is a website where you can look up a piece of entertainment, like games, shows, and donuts. You can find articles and wiki pages explaining everything. And there you have it, you guessed it, The Crew. This is everything Crew related on here. This is where I found most of the info for this video. Thanks, Fandom.com. So for everyone looking to scratch the Crew itch, this is the place to go. You know, aside from playing the game, of course. Talking about the game, how many people are playing, how the heck would I know? What's that? Steam charts. Oh wait, Steam charts. I can just look at Steam charts, that's good. Thanks, John. We can see the gameplay was high in 2014, then dipped slowly and started to phase out. But there could be a good reason for that. Remember how I said last video that The Crew and its expansions are separate games? Let's see if that proves anything. Oh, no it doesn't. Just seems like The Crew has been overshadowed by The Crew 2, forever fading into obscurity. Kind of, there's still a lot of people playing it. Okay, we have reached the final thoughts. This is where I give my review of everything. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Personally, I think the story of The Crew is one of the best stories in any racing game. The most story all other racing games have is this: there is a festival and you can legally break the law. Wink. Everything just makes sense here. The great part of the story is the characters. Over the course of the game, you hate Shiv for being Shiv. There is also a reason for everything in the story. Why are you chasing the 510s? Because they will be in a war where people will be killed and they're innocent. What? That's bad. Why does Alex want to get rid of Shiv? Because Dayton is dead. I give the story of The Crew a 8 out of 10 Ubisofts. The gameplay of The Crew is admittedly very similar to other racing games like Forza Horizon. There are many different car types which are all unique in different ways, and Rage is the best. There is a lot of variety, but ultimately it is not that groundbreaking. I give the gameplay of The Crew a 6 out of 10 Ubisofts. After the story is wrapped up and done, that should be it, right? Go for high scores and drive around in front. Well, no, with The Crew you have offenses, skills, landmarks, and hidden cars, and those story missions. How about you go for a platinum medal, collect all the cars, and of course discover all the places on the map. The story takes about 19 hours to complete, and completing everything in the game takes 123 hours on average. That's longer than 5 days. For example, I've been playing The Crew 2 a lot, and I've only played that for about 3 days. But let's talk about the 4. There are many versions of this game. The Crew Wild Run includes 8 new cars, so to get them, it really depends on how fast you can make the money. That isn't really accurate info. Pulling all units takes around 2 hours to complete. Wow, look at all that content. I give the post-story content, or PSC is what I named it in the script. Oh my god. I give the post-story content, or PSC for short, a 8 out of 10 Ubisofts. Well, everything surrounding the game is great. The graphics look beautiful. Whoa, is that real life? To be honest, there's not a lot to say. Troy Baker. I give the production of The Crew a 7 out of 10 Ubisofts. So there you have it. The Crew, made by Ubisoft, is a game about government corruption, underground clubs, and of course, racing. This is one of the best car games, I feel safe to say, of all time. It's got one of the biggest maps in racing games. It takes 45 minutes to cross from coast to coast. For a game made 8 years ago, you think no one would care about it. Well, you know, people still do. Even with The Crew 2 existing, it is a simple $20 pre-owned. There is so much to do, especially if you have friends. I give The Crew an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely my favorite game. And that is saying something, because I've played Santa Quad Bike Racing. Anyways, I wish you guys all the best. Have a great new year and have fun playing The Crew. And say it with me, stay cool, keep calm. Anyways, have a good one.